What is the subconscious and conscious? Because I would struggle to define that to people. So what are the differences and what are they?
Yeah, with all this stuff, I'll keep it simple. Keep it simple that actually means something to me. And really the conscious mind, our conscious mind is what we can use. What we can use, it's not necessarily we do use, but what we can use to make conscious free will choices. When we're in the present moment, like you mentioned, when you're doing jiu-jitsu or when you're climbing the mountain, when all of you is here, we're fully here in the present moment. I'm with you now, I'm fully here. I'm not thinking about anything else. I'm looking at you and vice versa. We're fully present in this conversation. We're here, But if I'm not present in this conversation and if I start drifting, if I look outside and I've got a beautiful view and then, my inner dialogue takes off and then I start thinking, actually, what time's the gym? What time's jiu-jitsu? And then I'm like, I'm not fully with you. But if I'm not fully present, and this is the key, to keep it simple, if we're not fully present in the moment and we're not consciously controlling our thoughts, feelings and actions, then what's controlling our thoughts, feelings and actions? It's our subconscious system. So to make this easy, if you think about it, if you think when you're walking down the road or any time of the day, anywhere, do you consciously choose your emotions? You think about that, you go, no, I'm not consciously going, right, I'm going to feel happy now, I'm going to do something to make me feel happy. I'm going to feel frustrated now, I'm going to do something to be frustrated. I'm going to feel anxious. No, obviously not. Else you'd be mad. You don't consciously choose your emotions. You can consciously stop an emotion. You can consciously do things to change your state, but you're not consciously choosing emotions. So this is where we really realize the power of the subconscious. Day in, day out, your emotional subconscious system's being triggered by events in your environment that can be triggering all sorts of old stuff that's not even related really that well to what's happening. So the way I think to think about the mind is this, is when do we ever only use our conscious mind? In reality, we only really use our conscious mind when we're in the present moment. But for the most part, life's busy and we're overwhelmed with information, and people have a lot to think about and they're distracted with social media and news and this and phones and emails and whatnot. So whilst, the majority of the time, what most people do is we're thinking about the future in our conscious mind. We think, okay, what's next? As I said, what time am I going to get to? If I start to think, what time am I going to get to the gym? Then I go to jiu-jitsu, blah, 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 blah. I'm not even here. I'm thinking about later on. Or I start thinking about last night, that film was rubbish. I really enjoyed that food, blah, blah, blah. Well, whilst we're thinking like that consciously, what's driving you? The subconscious is driving you. Your autopilot, thoughts, feelings and actions, the automatic reactions, that's what's driving your life. And so once you sort of get your head around that a little bit, then you go, yeah, actually, we're nowhere near as conscious as we think we are. Consciousness itself is almost a little bit of a trick, a sneaky sense of humor of the universe, I think, because any set of thoughts, any set of feelings, they happen and then we become conscious of them half a second later, literally half a second later. So it seems like we're conscious, but you're actually only conscious of what's just come up subconsciously. Now, of course, you can be conscious. Like I said, right now I'm with you, I'm looking at you, I know exactly what I'm saying, I'm fully embodied, sitting on the chair, I'm right here with you. So that's when you have power. That's when you can control your life, you can control your situations, you can make the good decisions, you can see opportunities, you can get clarity on what you want to do, and so forth and so on. But for the most part, we're not in the present moment. For the most part, as I say, life is busy. And as we go through our day-to-day life, we're thinking about stuff, we're living in the future, we're living in the past. And when you're like that, your subconscious is driving you. And a lot of guys, not guys, a lot of people, you can get to midlife and you can really see that in flow. You can get to midlife and maybe you've had, I don't know, 1 or 2 marriages, maybe you've got 1 or 2 kids, maybe you're doing a job that you don't like. And you're like, what the hell am I doing? How did I get here? How did I get to be doing this? Yeah. You didn't, because you didn't consciously choose that. Yeah. Your subconscious created that, and that's what happens. And this is one of the biggest things people, that we really need to grasp is we're not as conscious as we think. We're not making conscious decisions. You can, but we're not mostly. And if your subconscious is full of old, outdated, limiting beliefs, limited emotional reactions, then you can imagine, that's a limitation. Whatever that means for you in life, that's not going to help you creating the life you want. So the 2 aspects of the mind have different functions. They have different processing powers, the whole different systems of which run us and inevitably control us.